CBS News Bay Area Afternoon Edition with Ann Mekovic.
Right now on the afternoon edition, a high-stakes hearing happening in Oakland, one that could affect how much you pay for home insurance. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. Right now, State Farm is trying to justify raising its rates. Our Veronica Macias is at the hearing in Oakland.
California's largest insurer, State Farm, is making their case today with the California Department of Insurance on why they should approve a rate hike of 22%. It's a decision that could increase insurance premiums for nearly 1 million of their policyholders and also push dreams further away for many first-time home buyers in the state of California. The Department of Insurance held a hearing at its Oakland offices to determine if the rate hike is justified. State Farm now required to present detailed financial information. The state's insurance industry has been in turmoil for some time, and State Farm says it's now in a financial crisis, things worsening as a result of the January wildfires in Southern California. It's estimated there was $45 billion in insured losses, with 16,000 properties destroyed. However, nonprofit Consumer Watchdog says this financial distress is of their own doing through canceled policies. Today's public hearing is part of the requirement for the rate hike approval by Insurance Commissioner Ricardo Lara, who called for a transparent public hearing along with a pause on policy cancellations.
The point here is to keep insurance available in California. And the reason why we're concerned here, the primary reason we're concerned here, insurance won't remain available to State Farm General's policyholders, is the risk of an imminent financial strength ratings downgrade. And this is really important for the hundreds of thousands of State Farm General policyholders with a mortgage, because it's people with a mortgage that have to get insurance from a company with a specific financial strength rating. And if State Farm General slips below that level, all of these hundreds of thousands of people might have to go out and get other insurance, and that may not be available.
This public hearing so far this morning containing lots of evidence, and the state questioning how it was analyzed and will be presented. An administrative judge will then make a decision, give a recommendation to the commissioner, and this case is expected to go on in the next coming days.
And if State Farm does prove its case, higher premiums could apply starting on June 1st. Checking on Wall Street now, speaking of finances, some big swings over the last few days since President Trump announced his sweeping tariffs plan, but things are looking up in general. Right now, the Dow is down, but just about 30 points. That was after a big surge at the open, about 1,500 points. And let's take a live look at the heat stock map. This is an interactive map that is brought to us by, Sinviz. And we are taking a look at some of the stocks that are indicated by red. You can tell if they're down. Green means it's up, and the size of the box represents the market cap. So we are keeping an eye on that. With less than 24 hours until the Trump administration's new reciprocal tariffs are set to take effect, threats of retaliation escalating between the U.S. and China. President Trump says he is waiting for China's call after his threat to ratchet up tariffs on China by an additional 50% unless Beijing withdraws threats of a retaliatory tariff against the U.S. China said overnight that pressure and threats are not the right way to make a deal. Meanwhile, the president's trade representative is on Capitol Hill trying to ease lawmakers' concerns about tariffs. He says they're already yielding results.
Nearly 50 countries have approached me personally to discuss the president's new policy and explore how to achieve reciprocity, and they've spoken with many members of the administration.
Now, Zimbabwe has said that it would scrap tariffs on U.S. goods, and the EU has said that it will eliminate tariffs on industrial goods and cars if the United States does the same. Apple is looking at a readjustment of iPhone imports in light of the president's tariffs. The Wall Street Journal reporting Apple may soon start shipping more iPhones from India instead of China to the U.S. A San Francisco hardware store is feeling the uncertainty over all these tariffs. Our Kelsey Thorad talked to the owner at the Standard 5 and Acre Ace on California Street about some of the challenges ahead.
Jeff Leopold's family has owned this hardware store in San Francisco for generations. And he says he's never seen anything quite like what they are seeing now with the Trump administration's new tariffs.
This is absolutely crazy. There's no sense in it, and we don't know if it's permanent.
Jeff says about 80% of the products he sells are made outside the U.S., most of them in China.
Like these umbrellas made in China.
Jeff says the tariffs President Trump has slapped on products coming in from other countries, especially China, will have a huge impact on his business.
This entire aisle is what I call fasteners, just basic hardware, screws and bolts. This is the one that we don't, if the tariffs don't go away, this is an area, because it's metal and aluminum, mostly metal, we're going to get hit hard on this stuff.
Jeff says they have no choice but to pass on the price increase to consumers, something he knows his customers will not be happy about.
I'm guessing it could be somewhere close to 25%, maybe even closer to 50%. We just don't know.
One customer, Sandy Brickta, told us she's livid over the tariffs. She says the stock market volatility alone has already cost her tens of thousands of dollars.
I've lost $80,000 in 2 days. $80,000 in 2 days. I am too old to be able to recoup that back.
Made in the USA.
Jeff told us he understands what President Trump is thinking in trying to get manufacturing back into the United States, but he doesn't believe this is the way to do it.
It's made in China. You cannot produce most of the product that we sell for anywhere near what we're buying it for from China. And until the cost of labor and parts and everything is cheaper in the U.S., it just doesn't make sense. Flashlights are going to be...
For now, Jeff told us he's not making any drastic decisions. He's going to wait and see how the next few weeks go and then decide how to move forward.
So I'll get somebody over there to help you. Some of these tariffs could be permanent. Some of it may get negotiated. You know, they're negotiating every day. And it depends on what these other countries are going to do.
Well, you can track how the Trump tariffs are affecting prices on groceries, cars, and more on the CBS News website. Just head to cbsnews.com/tariffs. It is Election Day in parts of San Jose. Voters are picking a new leader to represent District 3 on the city council. Ballots have already been sent out. People can mail them in or return them in person today at one of 3 designated voting centers. The district includes San Jose State and downtown and Japantown as well. There are 7 candidates running to fill that seat. And the man who formerly held that seat, Omar Torres, was in court today. That is where he pleaded no contest to charges of child molestation. The Santa Clara County DA's office says he's going to have to register as a sex offender. A sentencing date has not been set. No deal in Fremont after an hours-long hearing between the school district and teachers' union negotiators. They didn't finish until 2 this morning. Teachers have been rallying for raises, smaller class sizes, and health care contributions. With no agreement, the next step is for a neutral mediator to issue recommendations based on state standards. After that, the union can legally go on strike. Still ahead here at noon and streaming on CBS News Bay Area. Some neighbors in the North Bay sounding the alarm about safety and access after some recent flooding. What they're asking leaders to do.
And there's some changes in the forecast for us. We're starting to warm up right around the corner. I'll have more on that coming up in your First Alert forecast.
A whale has been spotted near the Emeryville Marina. Our chopper caught this whale just floating there off the shore. The Marine Mammal Center says this whale had originally been spotted swimming in that same area last Wednesday. Sightings are rare in the bay for what is apparently known as a mink whale, but not unprecedented. A coalition of Oakland community groups coming together on the steps of City Hall today to present what they are calling the People's Budget. The city is facing a more than $100 million budget deficit. Oakland has already announced layoffs. Members of the People's Budget Coalition, as they call themselves, say that they understand the city has to make some tough decisions, but they want to make sure the community has a say in what gets cut.
It's more than just a deficit. This is a structural issue in the way that things are funded and how things are functioning inside that building, and it has to change. But it has to change in a way that provides actual structural transformation so that we and the generations who come after us can thrive in this city.
The coalition says they will hold workshops in the coming months to get input on budget priorities. To the North Bay now, where the Waller Bridge project is underway near Forestville. So that project, coupled with a nearby road closure because of a massive mudslide, has created a situation that people that live in that area say is becoming a real safety issue. Businesses say it's going to impact sales and commerce. Kenny Choi explains what nearby wineries are asking the county to address.
Trini Amador's Graciana winery in Healdsburg near the banks of the Russian River draws in locals and tourists as the industry continues to struggle with decreased demand.
We've been here since 2012 and we see thousands of guests a year, and we're very concerned about this bridge closure.
The 103-year-old Waller Bridge nearby is in extreme need of a seismic retrofit and is now closed until October. Another access point to the vineyard, West Side Road, is also closed as portions of it crumbled into the Russian River, wiping out a home in its path after a major storm in February.
If there's an emergency, there's only one way to get out for all of us.
Safety is a concern for Amador. He's asking the county to delay the bridge project. He's seeing and hearing of the immediate impact of the closures.
Folks are canceling their appointments because they're realizing that they can't get in. They have to go all the way around.
That detour, some commuters say, can add 20 to 25 minutes each way. Sonoma County Supervisor Linda Hopkins tried to install a temporary bridge at Waller, but state and federal permits, including lengthy environmental reviews, proved to be cost and time prohibitive. A temporary bridge at West Side Road also ran into unforeseen issues.
Unfortunately, due to the current federal chaos, we are unable to get steel, and so we were unable to install that Bailey Bridge.
Hopkins says simply delaying the bridge retrofit would jeopardize $17 million in funding and permits already in place. Our trip to the winery via Google Maps took us directly to the bridge closure instead of towards the only alternate route now available via the 101 freeway. That confusion for non-locals is a major concern for businesses. Fernando Arellano is a tasting room manager at Graciana. His 6-minute commute from Forestville, he says, is now 25.
The day-to-day is a little bit different now. Definitely impactful.
He's now spending more on gas, but he and his colleagues are more concerned about emergency access with only one road out, and sales too.
Could it impact our business and drive business down by 50%? The answer is yes, and we're very concerned.
For Amador and other nearby businesses, safety and flow of commerce are at risk.
Well, Amador says his neighborhood group is very organized, but would not provide details of what that next step is. County Supervisor Hopkins says the bidding process for the West Side Road repair is underway with the hope of reopening it within 3 months. All right, back to our first alert weather because it is spring, almost summer-like. Taking a live look outside from our Black Mountain camera overlooking Santa Clara County. Let's check back in with meteorologist Jessica Birch.
It is spring, almost summer-like out there. It's beautiful, too, with all these blue skies around us. I mean, heading into this afternoon, we take a quick look at our daytime highs just below me. I want to show you our daytime highs over in our inland areas compared to the coast. Now, we're holding on tight to low 70s today in areas like Antioch and Livermore, all the way up into Santa Rosa, too. Along the coast, we have those gustier conditions, anywhere up to around 20, 25 mile per hour winds moving in from offshore today in areas like Half Moon Bay, Ocean Beach over into San Francisco, all the way up into areas like Bodega Bay, too. But in our inland areas, we're not impacted nearly as much. We're going to warm up into the 70s today, sunny skies down into the Santa Clara Valley, and we're continuing to warm up as we head into the next couple days. I'll show you that in just a second, but hey, most importantly tonight, gosh, I'm so excited for this. 60s and 50s just in time for first pitch over at Oracle Park as the Giants take on the Reds. And as we head into the afternoon hours today, you're going to notice a little bit of a difference in the forecast too. We're going to continue to warm up and dry up, not only today, but especially tomorrow. We're expecting 80s right around the corner tomorrow as an area of high pressure continues to move its way in. That keeps the storm track just to the north of us, meaning we're going to see drier than normal conditions, not only today or tomorrow, but really as we head into the next 6 to 10 days too. So let's head over to the next 7 days real fast. I want to start off in our inland areas that are going to experience this warm up the most. Tomorrow we're hitting the 80s. And that's the reason why we led this by saying the spring/summer-like forecast is among us. I mean, heading into our forecast tomorrow, it's going to be warm, well above average, not only for areas like the East Bay and the Santa Clara Valley hitting the 80s and upper 70s by Thursday. You're going to notice this warm up too, all the way over into our Bay Area spots, close to San Francisco and across that beautiful Bay Bridge you see behind me with those blue skies right now above it over into Oakland. We're going to hold on tight to 70s tomorrow, Thursday, and then we kind of flirt back and forth with 60s and 70s heading into this weekend as that system continues to move its way in from offshore. More on that in a bit. Now back to you.
Thank you, Jessica. A great summer of music is ahead. Coming up, the lineup unveiled for the Stern Grove Festival and a new look for the Giants, the meaning behind their new City Connect uniforms. The lineup for the Stern Grove Festival is out. There's a lot to choose from, including Chanel Trace, SF Symphony, Michael Franti and Spearhead, Damien and Stephen Marley, and the final show, this one I'm pumped about, Diana Ross. The festival starts on June 15th and ends August 17th. There's a new online lottery system for free tickets that opens up 6 weeks before each show. You can also pay for a seat at a community table or reserve an entire VIP table. You might notice the Giants sporting a new look at tonight's game. The team has officially unveiled their new uniform. The Giants say that the City Connect uniform pays tribute to San Francisco's rich cultural identity. They say it was inspired by the city's energy and music scene, as well as the Giants' time in New York from 1913 to 17, when the team wore violet. The Giants are going to wear the jerseys for the first time tonight and for all Tuesday home games. Also, the Giants announced the return of the City Connect program. That is when China Basin Park serves as a pregame gathering spot. It's going to be open 2.5 hours before game time at every home game on Tuesdays. Taking a live look at Chase Center in San Francisco, where you will soon be able to watch the Golden State Valkyries' new WNBA team. Pre-sale for single game tickets starts today. And then tickets will be available for the general public tomorrow, starting at 5 p.m. The first preseason game is May 6th, with the season starting on the 16th. And remember, CBS News Bay Area is the official broadcast partner for the Valkyries. We're going to take you behind the scenes and bring you games all season long. Still ahead, an update on one of Oakland Zoo's beloved mountain lion cubs. One of the little mountain lions that was rescued from the Oakland Zoo, or by the Oakland Zoo, now has a new home. This was Spruce earlier this year when he was just a little baby, rescued in Portola Valley with his 2 siblings. Well, now he is safely at the zoo in Birmingham with his new companion, Juniper, who is another rescued cub. Spruce was transported by FedEx to Memphis and then picked up there by the curators from Birmingham. Spruce and Juniper were paired for companionship purposes, not for breeding. Apparently they had similar personalities, so we hope that they are getting along. That is it for the afternoon edition. Remember, we are streaming 24/7 on the free CBS News app.